happy enough with the nip of whisky she had promised herself in the second half. But the night wasn't turning out as she had anticipated. At least for the half hour she had been able to watch her dancers on stage, they hadn't put a foot wrong. Although the circle was full, it had less than 100 seats and wouldn't take long to clear. There were 2 stairwells, one that led to the foyer at the front of the Empress, the other to an exit at the side, according to the usher. Rose led the way and opted for the latter, which was generally being ignored. The theatre was at the end of a row of buildings, and everyone knew that the alleyway at the side was dark and dank, but fewer people meant less chance of misplacing a student. Good choice, thought Hilary. She would be leaving her school in good hands. "Miss! Miss!" cried a student, just as Hilary was leaving the circle. It was 7-year-old Jack. It was always Jack. The child had exceptional promise, but he was too easily distracted. "I left my coat." Hilary looked over her shoulder. There was no one behind them, and it would take no time to go back. "Fine, show me where you left it. Quickly now," she added sternly. For theatre-goers in the cramped stalls below, the evacuation wasn't as smooth as it was for their privileged counterparts. The venue had been open for less than a month, and was crammed with curious locals, eager for their first glimpse inside the Art Deco building. It had taken 2 years to return the Empress to its original purpose, but 9-year-old Amelia Parker had no interest in the sympathetic restoration of gilded plasterwork and polished veneers. She had come to see her best friend perform. Evie was the White Rabbit. Amelia's mum had been looking forward to it too, but 25 minutes into the performance, Catherine Parker had been jiggling in her seat. "Sorry, love, I need to nip to the loo," she had whispered. She had been drinking cranberry juice all day, but it hadn't helped. "Do you want to come with me?" Amelia had been mortified. What if Evie spotted them getting up from their seats? "No way," she had said. And so it was that when the alarm had sounded and the curtain came down, Amelia was on her own. Her mum had instructed her to seek out Evie's mum if there was a problem, but she was a few rows in front and had hurried off in the direction of the stage as soon as the evacuation started. Amelia checked behind her, hoping to find her mum in as much of a rush to retrieve her daughter. The aisle was filled with people she didn't recognise. "We need to leave, sweetie," a woman said. She was struggling to squeeze past Amelia, who had gripped the arms of her seat. "Come with us." "I have to wait for my mum." The wrinkles crisscrossing the woman's brow deepened as she looked from Amelia to the young girl whose hand she was holding, her granddaughter, presumably. Her husband was bringing up the rear and muttered under his breath as someone shoved him from behind, almost knocking the box of popcorn out of his hand. People were getting impatient. "Leave her be, love," the man said. "Her mum will know where to find her if she stays where she is. Isn't that right?" Amelia nodded, and although she retreated into the aisle to let people pass, she stayed close to where her mum would expect to find her. At the rear of the stalls, where the growing mass of theatre-goers was deepest, Lois Granger caught her boyfriend smirking. Ballet wasn't Joe's kind of thing, especially when performed by a bunch of schoolkids, and she knew that once they were outside, he would drag her to the sports bar further down the high street. She wouldn't put up much resistance. The idea of a ballet production of Alice in Wonderland had sounded so much better in theory. "You can use the side exits to the left and right of the stage," a staff member called out, but the crowd swarming around Lois was impenetrable. They would have to stay put, but that was fine. Leaving through the foyer meant a shorter walk to the bar. Hilary found Jack's coat shoved under his seat, and, as she helped him shrug into it, she felt a shower of grit rain down onto her head. Her nose wrinkled as she looked up. The ceiling was rippling. Hilary blinked hard, thinking her cataract operation couldn't come soon enough. But with a single thump of her heart, she realised the problem wasn't her eyesight.